I'm a PlayStation fan too. I'm a PlayStation fan too. Respect my time. I got a wife and kids. But this is great for gamers. Cut the cat.
I'm a neutral.
What is good, YouTube? What is good, PlayStation Nation? It is your boy Persona of Gaming with Persona and one half of the What's Up PlayStation podcast crew. Happy Friday. How are y'all doing today, man? How is everybody feeling today? Are y'all good? Are y'all good out here? Are we good out here on this Friday? Let me know in the chat, man. How y'all feeling on this Friday, man? It's Friday. It's a beautiful day outside. Listen, I was outside walking earlier today. You know, it's starting to get real nice outside. So, you know, your boy got to, we touch grass throughout the year, but, you know, you're a little bit more excited to touch grass when it's nice outside. You feel me? So, you know, we outside walking, soaking up that sun, man. It's beautiful out here, man. It's very, very beautiful, man. Spring is definitely rearing its beautiful head. You understand? So, you know, happy Friday to everybody. I know it's Good Friday. Easter's around the corner. So for the people who celebrate that, happy Easter, happy Good Friday and whatnot, man. How are we all feeling today, man? Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Did you miss your boy Persona, man? Did you miss your boy Persona? Let me know. Oh, my fault. I'm getting my fan. Yo, real talk, it's starting to get really hot. Like now I'm like I have the windows open or whatever, but it's like, you know, it's starting to get a little hot. So, you know, you got to have a fan on, you feel me? You know, so that AC definitely about to start putting in some work again, which I'm glad about. Right? Shout out to Luca. Appreciate you for the $5 super chat. She said, this is great for gamers. Also, I just busted my ass on my skateboard. When I show up the whoops in the cast, then what? Oh, man. First off, yes, this is definitely great for gamers. But this is great for gamers. And Luca out here skateboarding. I love it. Definitely protect yourself. Make sure you got on the protective gear. And don't worry, the Whoops crew gonna take care of you when you come through to the cast. Trust and believe. We gonna take care of you. Did you miss your boy, man? Let me know in the chat. Listen, man, real quick, man, quick story time. Listen, this week, I know y'all was like, man, Persona, where the show? Where the show at, Persona? Where you at? Listen, man, this week has really been a really stressful week, I'll say. A lot of project deadlines and stuff, and I've really been in a lot of meetings all week, and then like project deadlines and stuff like that. So like my energy, you know, it's funny because even when you're working from home, you know, you still like your brain, it's that mental energy where it's just like, damn, you know, like mentally I'm exhausted, you know, like, you know, presenting and answering questions and doing all these crazy things. So, you know, like this week mentally, I've been really exhausted and drained from work and stuff like that. So that's why, you know, I was kind of low key this week. You know, I was keeping it real low key. I popped into a couple spaces. Shout out to GOW. He had a pretty cool space yesterday about JRPGs and things like that. So, you know, like I popped in there for a little bit, which was cool. But, you know, like this week was really just a really mentally draining week because of work and other responsibilities, man. So like I had said on Twitter, y'all know I love to bring the high energy and, you know, jokes, and we laugh. Y'all know here on this side of YouTube, man, with my channel and with my community of supporters, man. Y'all know I love to entertain y'all and, you know, make sure that my energy is right. And, you know, even if y'all having a bad day, I want to be able to make y'all day good, you know, make y'all laugh, you know, crack jokes and things like that, man. Y'all know how we do here. We have a cool conversation. And if I'm not there 100%, it's not fair to y'all. You feel me? So that's why I kind of kept it low key this week. And kind of just like real talk. I've been watching like, so like I like right now I'm on like the newer Star Wars movies, but I've been watching like Star Wars all week because I've been playing the Star Wars Lego game. So I'm like, damn, man, playing the game made me want to watch the movies again. So at the beginning of the week, I started with the prequels. which, you know, watching those again, watching those prequels again, they aren't as bad as I remember. I think the second movie is definitely the worst of the three, but you know, Phantom Menace and what's that, the third one, I forgot the name, but I just watched it earlier this week. But yeah, I watched through those, and then I watched, you know, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, and you know, A New Hope, right? And oh yeah, Revenge of the Sith, that's the third movie. You know, I you know, and obviously, you know, A New Hope, Attack of Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. You know, I think those movies are obviously really good as well. Those are, I think, legendary. And now I'm watching the new movies with like A Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. I'm on the second one with with The Last Jedi. Like I said, I think I've talked about this before, but like the newer movies, man, with Rey in them, I wasn't really feeling them like that. You feel me? But you know, it is what it is. I'm watching through them, and watching through them a second time, I'm like, you know, like the first one that I always thought was pretty good. This Last Jedi movie, I'm like I said, I'm on Last Jedi right now. It's I'm like, I'm kind of one foot in, one foot out. But I know Rise of Skywalker, I did not like that movie at all. I know when I rewatch it this weekend, I know I'm not gonna like that shit, man. Like that was the one that I definitely was like, yo, they really just like messed this whole shit up, right? Shout out to Luca again. I appreciate you for the super chat, mama. She says, Spaces was great to listen to because y'all know how to podcast, but if I speak on the newbies, I appreciate that, Luca. Real talk. You know, shout out to Luca too. She had a pretty cool Scum on One podcast earlier today, so definitely check that out on Asher Lucas channel. Real talk, like I keep saying this too, them Scum on Ones, they've been elite. They have been elite, man. Real talk. Luca definitely, she do her thing in them Scum on Ones. So, you know, shout out to Luca. And like I said, it was a good space to just say. I know Barry was there, Porter Rock was there, Chris Righteous, Guap, you know, Gamer and D. Shout out to the peoples out there that was in that space, man. I know there was a lot of people listening too, so I hope y'all enjoy it. But let's get to these shout outs real quick, man. Real quick. Barry, shout out to my bro Barry, man. 13 months as a member on the channel. Appreciate you always, brother. He says, where is Jaffe? Oh, I think Jaffe might show up today. I'm ready for it though. Shout out to my bro Barry, man. What's Up PlayStation podcast this Saturday at 11 a.m. Make sure y'all check that out. It's gonna be a good conversation. Shout out to Viper as well, man. 13 months as a member on the channel. He says ads and games are great for gamers. Wait 1 month. LOL. Absolutely.
But this is great for gamers.
You know that's great for gamers, man. You already know. All right. So yo, True Virgil, what's good, man? Appreciate you always. Soapbox Gaming, Connor in the building. Connor, how you feeling, bro? He says Rise of Skywalker made me so fucking sad. Yo, Connor, that's what I'm saying, bro. Rise of Skywalker was just garbage, bro. Like it was terrible. It was terrible, man. It really was, man. I'm not saying that to be like an asshole, because like I said, Force Awakens and Last Jedi, I think Last Jedi is really where they started to kind of go off the rails. But then Rise of Skywalker is just like, bro, like you fucked all this up. Yo, Lorenzo Carson in the building. Lorenzo, how you feeling today? Mary Wilcox in the building. Mary, how are you today? The Unknown, how you feeling, bro? Foxing around. Austin, what's good? Yo, Austin, yo, real talk. Shout out to my boy Austin, man. Yo, foxing around. Yo, man, I follow a lot of sports Twitter. Like I follow NFL and like ESPN. I follow a lot of those Twitters to keep up with the sports. But I also follow a lot of sports heads. And Austin is one of those. Yo, this dude, Austin. Yo, I know about everything that's happening with the Dolphins because of fucking Austin, bro. Like, I don't need to look nowhere else but Austin's Twitter about the Dolphins, man. He be arguing with some of these. Yo, that shit be comedy, bro. And shout out to Austin, man. Good dude. Yo, Just the Guy, what's good, man? Appreciate you. Jeff B Gaming, what's going on with you? Raven, how you feeling today? GN, the Dawn in the building. He says, yeah, The Force Awakens is good, but the rest, oh, hell nah, absolutely. Don John Sean, what's good, bro? Appreciate you. PS Rewind, what's going on with you? JP Loco in the building, how you feeling today? The Floyd, how you feeling today? H-Man SB, how you feeling? How you feeling? Appreciate you. Philip K in the building. Philip, how are you today, man? Hope everything's good with you. Happy Friday. Yo, Leech 1399, how you feeling? Chris Righteous in the building. Yo, Chris Righteous been real passionate lately, man. Yo, shout out to Chris. Chris has been very, 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 very passionate lately. Like it's been, woo. I'm like, woo. You don't want to be in Chris's way when that list start going up to 10. You don't want to be in Chris' way, man, because that passion is on 100. Yo, Seto Kaiba, what is going on with you? He says, why does anyone pay attention to Jaffe anymore? Man has gained for 10 minutes playtime on his account while saying Game Pass isn't. Yo, shout out to you, Seto Kaiba. How many blue eyes white dragons you got? Let me borrow one. Yo, the Macho Channel, what's good, man? Appreciate you. Says Revenge of the Sith is a personal favorite. Yeah, I really do like Revenge of the Sith because I do think it did a good job of showing Anakin's struggle of trying to remain good but being forced to kind of go to the dark side, and then Palpatine and what he was doing. And I did like Revenge of the Sith. I really did. Yo, Shadow Wolf 712, what's good, man? Appreciate you. Who else is here? Alex E, what's good, Alex? Appreciate you. No Cap Podcast in the building. Yo, shout out to my boy Sick, man. Yo, today is Sick Human TV's birthday, man. I'm very happy to see my bro Sick see another year here on this beautiful green earth. Shout out to you, Sick, man. Really good dude, man. Appreciate you always, Sick, man. I hope you're enjoying your day, brother. Happy birthday to you, man. Yo, young Brit B, what's good, man? Appreciate you. Says, what up, Persona? Keep up the great work, man. Thank you, Young. I appreciate your support. Shout out to Luca. Appreciate you. Side Effect Gaming, what's good? King Kiso in the building. Appreciate you, King Kiso. Quamvo in the building. Appreciate you. Yo, Dewan Thompson, what's good, bro? Appreciate you. Braxton in the building. What's good, Braxton? Jeff B Gaming. Appreciate you. 8K Dual Sensible. What's good, bro? Link, what's good, my bro? Link in the building. Viper Reap. Appreciate you, Viper. Dark Prince in the building. Appreciate you. G Jr. in the building. Henry Heck in the building. What's good, Henry? Appreciate you. Corey Macy in the building. Samuel Porter Bridges in the building. Appreciate you. Yo, DDP 540. What's good? J Row the man. What's going on with you? Who else is here? Make sure I get everybody. Yo, Michael Kissoon. That's interesting. Yo, Michael Kissoon, appreciate you coming through. SIE, what's good, man? Appreciate you. Object to be, what's going on with you? Famoa, what's good? Appreciate you. James Williams, what's going on with you? Jedi Johnny 5 in the building. Appreciate you. Omar in the building. Appreciate you. Slink in the building. Slink, what's good, bro? Appreciate you. Vedger in the building. Vedger, how's everything, man? Appreciate you. Carl Anchor in the building. Appreciate you, Carl. Always appreciate you, bro. Mr. Corleone, what's going on, Corleone? It's me, baby 80. What's going on with you? J Doggy, what's good, man? Appreciate you. Shout out to everybody here, man. Like I said, happy Friday. I really do appreciate y'all. Round of applause for everybody in the chat. Chris Passion is infectious. Shout out to Mr. Go Tryhard, man. 13 months as a member on the channel. I appreciate you, Mr. Go Tryhard guy Uchiha, always, bro. He says, Chris Passion is infectious and we need more. Also, happy birthday to Sick. Yeah, man, his passion is definitely infectious, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. The man, I'm sitting there like, damn, Chris. All right, brother. Yo, Jabbar, what's up, man? D-Truth, what's good, man? Shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all. All right. So we got the shout outs out the way, man. If you're listening, driving home from work, if you're going into work, if you're taking a shower, if you're cooking dinner, if you might be having the maritos with the missus. I don't know, right? I'm honored that you would put me on the TV or whatever to get you through your lovemaking session with your significant other. I'm honored. I am. Shout out to all of you with whatever you're doing, and I hope I can get you through the rest of your day. We're gonna be here, have some good conversation, man. So I do hope you guys enjoy, and I appreciate y'all tuning in to your boy Persona. All right. So, yo, Cold Blood, what's up, man? All right. So listen. The gaming community, the gaming industry is a very, very interesting place, right? Because, well, no, let me start here. Social media is a very interesting place. Because social media or the internet in general is a place where opinions fly left and right, man. Like there's opinions everywhere, right? And freedom of speech and all that stuff, which is great. Freedom of speech and all those great things does not absolve somebody from freedom of consequence or freedom of getting your ass checked You get what I'm saying? Everybody is free to say what they want. Everyone has their own opinions and things like that. But that does not mean that your opinion is a sound opinion. Let's go by that, right? So people are obviously going to question that stuff and give their opinions on your opinions, or give your opinions on the same type of topics, right? So before we start talking about what we're going to talk about today, I want to put the disclaimer out there, and I'm probably going to say this disclaimer like quite a few times through the show. And the reason why I will do that is because I know how people can be, where they tend to misconstrue what people say, right? Or think that you're attacking somebody, right? So I want to put the disclaimer out here before we start talking about what we're going to talk about. I love gaming, right? And when it comes to David Jaffe, right? You guys know I don't do personal attacks. I don't do coming at somebody's personal appearance or attacking someone. Everything that I do when it comes to anything that pertains to gaming, I speak on the gaming takes, and that's it, right? I'm not attacking his preference. I'm not attacking anything that has to do with David Jaffe. I actually have a lot of respect for David Jaffe because of the series that he created, which is God of War. I do think that is a very great achievement. Twisted Metal as well, to a lesser degree, but I think God of War really is the pinnacle, right? Or the tippy top. So a lot of respect, right? I have a lot of respect for David Jaffe, and y'all know I'm just talking about the bad gaming takes, man. That's really it. So personal attacks and things like that, we don't do that stuff here, guys. I don't really condone that stuff. I don't like that stuff. That's not really what I'm about, right? So let's be respectful. We can definitely disagree in the chat, guys, right? It's okay to disagree and whatnot, but let's try to keep it respectful, and let's not attack anybody outside of their game and opinion, right? So I just want to put that disclaimer out there for myself and for everyone that's listening. Okay, so let me ask the chat a question. In fact, should I put a poll up? Yeah, I will pull a poll up. Let's ask a question. Let's ask a question for a poll. Let's ask this. Does God of War Ragnarok look like DLC? Yes or no? Ask your community. So go ahead, man. Go ahead and answer that. Does God of War look like DLC? Now, see, let's start with this, right? Because Jaffe has definitely been saying a lot of off the wall shit for a long time, right? And for a lot of the stuff that he says, I kind of just let it kind of fly by, right? I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to it, right? But this God of War Ragnarok, I kept seeing this fly by my time. Like I kept seeing it, right? And I'm like, yo, what the, like, because normally, like when people are getting at Jaffe about something, like, I tend to see it, but if it's not something that really interests me, I don't really pay too much attention to it, right? But obviously, because it's God of War Ragnarok, a game that I'm extremely excited for, very hyped for, and because of Jaffe's caliber or social status within the gaming industry, and his history, I've definitely paid attention to that, right? Because of his history. So when it came to what I was seeing with, Jaffe saying God of War looks like DLC, and I watched 2 videos that he put up of like why he explained why God of War Ragnarok why he said it looks like DLC, and then there was another video that he put up, which we're gonna look at those, and we're gonna look at the God of War trailer as well, where he said that he watched it a second time and he said, it looks good or whatever, but it still looks like DLC. It doesn't really do anything impressive, or it's more of the same, like shit like that, right? So my whole thing is, with the way Jaffe has kind of been acting lately, with a lot of his content, it's definitely been very loaded, right? But he asks very loaded questions. He definitely, certain things he'll talk about definitely, it brings attention, it brings eyes to it, right? Again, part of it because of his status and things like that, right? So when it comes to him saying that the game looks like DLC, right, which we'll talk about that whole, you know, because a lot of people tend to say that with, oh, the game looks like DLC, it looks like this, it looks like that. And what made me laugh with that is because that's a very fanboy term, right? That's a very fanboy way of thinking. Now hear me out. Hold on. Hear me out. A very console. Let me not even say fanboy. Let me rephrase. No, not fanboy. Let me rephrase. That's a console war term. That's a very console war-y term where it's like, oh yeah, this looks like DLC, right? Or one and done. Those types of terminologies that you see like influencers and higher level people using, that stuff was coined through the console war community, right? Of, oh yeah, this is one and done, or oh yeah, this looks like DLC. Oh, because really, what does that like? When you really break that down, like, so breaking down the term of, oh, this looks like DLC, what the hell does that mean? Like, when you really think of it at its surface, what the hell does looking like DLC mean? More of the same means that it's DLC. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. I've never understood that terminology of, oh, this looks like DLC. Now, in terms of its length, right? Like, if you were to play a game and been like, oh yeah, you know, this is only like 3 hours, right? That's DLC territory in terms of its length, sure. But to describe an entire game as looking like DLC, that does not make sense to me. With any game, that does. Now, obviously, the console war shit, right? That, you know, cracking jokes and stuff like that. That stuff definitely, you know, it makes sense in that realm because, you know, you're cracking jokes, you're trying, you know, in that regard, yes. But to seriously speak on a game and to say that a game looks like DLC, I don't understand what that means. And so that's where I kind of, like, when I was watching what Jaffe was saying, I'm kind of just like, what does that mean? Like, in your eyes, like, what, I need to understand what that means, because from my point of view, knowing how console, you know, how the fanboys are and how console warring is, that looked like DLC shit. That's not something to be taken with respect. You don't say that for a game you respect. You get what I'm saying, guys? Am I on base so far? Do you guys understand? Like, you get what I'm saying? To say something looks like DLC, that's not respectful in any. That's not respectful in any regard. You get what I'm saying? So when I heard that, I immediately was like, the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, what? This looks like DLC. What the fuck does that? What the hell does that mean? You get what I'm saying? So that's where my whole gripe came from, where I'm like, yo, bro, because, you know, with all due respect, certain things that I've heard that Jaffe say in the past, like when it pertains to PlayStation, it comes off a bit bitter, right? I'm gonna be honest, right? And I mean this with all due respect. It comes off a bit bitter to me, right? You know, it's kind of like, you know, you ever was in a relationship, right? And you break up with somebody, right? You break up with your significant other, and then, you know, he or she contacts you later in life, and they'd be like, oh, so how your new little girlfriend, how your new little boyfriend, you know, try to minimize your new partner, right? And trying to minimize that, right? And that's kind of like an ego thing to make it look like, oh, well, I was always going to be the best that you ever had, so whatever you have after that will always be insignificant to me. Certain things, stuff like that is kind of how when I listen to Jaffe speak on PlayStation with certain topics, it comes off like that, where I feel like he has, and listen, again, he has created one of the most legendary series in the industry with God of War. So to some degree, he's owed that level of I don't want to call it a God complex, but he's owed that level of ego to a certain degree, you know, rightfully so, because of what he has created. But I do think that in certain things that Jaffe has spoken about in the past, or tries to compare, like, you know, the whole Game Pass thing and trying to say PlayStation is stupid for doing this, like this crazy shit where I'm just like, bro, like, you are way too negative here, bro. Like, it doesn't make sense. And then even with some of the positives, again, using God of War Ragnarok as an example, even with some of the positives, they still come off very negative or very bitter to me, right? So that's kind of like some of the stuff that I have got from Jaffe and certain things that he has said in the past, right? I still have a lot of respect for him because of what he has brought to this industry. I don't think that can ever be minimized. But when it comes to, again, certain things that he has said, I'm kind of like, this doesn't make sense to me. Shout out to Viper, man. Appreciate you for the super chats. DLC can still look good, but we all know what that means. Too short and more of the same. That's what I'm saying. But you're right, Viper. But more of the same in what regard? You get what I'm saying? With God of War 2018, that was a complete departure from what we were used to with God of War. What God of War Ragnarok is doing. And again, see, here's the thing. Before I even begin to explain that, right, Viper? Here's the part that we need to understand is that we've only seen one trailer, 1 3-minute trailer that gives you some quick shots of some combat, some quick shots of some of the worlds you'll be visiting, like how the world is going to look, some quick shots of what Atreus can do. You see Tyr, because you see that Atreus and Kratos, they rescue Tyr from the prison, and that's it. It's designed to get you hyped because that story was so good, that story was so captivating, and it was such a departure in terms of its story, in terms of the combat, in terms of what you were doing. It was such a departure from what we were used to with God of War in the past that that still has people reeling. And you have a lot of people in this community that cannot, like, right now we are fiending for God of War. We want that release date, we want that dedicated state of play. But my thing is to look at a 3-minute trailer and say this looks like DLC. I mean, if it was a state of play and you were saying that, I still would kind of be iffy, especially depending on what we saw. I would still kind of be like, really? But a 3-minute trailer, and this is where we're at. You know what I'm saying? Comes off a little bitter to me, man. Right? But I wanna play something for y'all real quick. Fair use. Oh, let me get these other super chats real quick. Steady Flow, man. I appreciate you for the super chat, bro. He says, David Jaffe lost mad respect in J Bari voice. How dare you? Shout out to Bari. How dare you? Shout out to Bari. And then just the guy, he says, here's my message to Jaffe. Good riddance, you bot. Chill, man. Nah, man. Like, Jaffe is he's good people's, man. All right, so fair use. It's just certain things I kind of want to highlight. And the one I want to show you is this one where he explains, like, here's why it looks like DLC, like here's why he says that and things like that. I'm curious, right? Like, I was legit curious, right? So oh shit, wait, you know what? Can you hear that? No, you can't. Hold up, my fault. Can you guys hear that? Let me see. Oh no, you can't hear it. My fault. Hold up. It's because I changed the sound settings. 1 second. All right, now you should be able to hear it.
To have seen in the God of War Ragnarok trailer, okay? Here's this guy. This isn't the one I responded to, but this is similar to the comments I've been getting. Latin Vamp, he says, how do you come with the conclusion that the new God of War looks like DLC from one trailer? You don't know what the whole game has to offer yet. I can say the same thing about God of War 2 when they first showed it, and I would be completely wrong. Actually, Latin Vamp, that's not true, and I can tell you how that's not true. But before I do, let me say, again, it does look like DLC for the most part to me. DLC is not a bad thing. God of War 2018 was one of my favorite games that came out that year, and beyond that, it was a phenomenal game. Loved it. And if what God of War Ragnarok is simply more of that, maybe pushed a little bit, great. I'll play it and I'll enjoy it.
But if it's pushed a little, so if it's pushed a little bit, why is it more? How is that DLC? You know, how is that DLC? You get what I'm saying? Because again, my interpretation of what is DLC, like of you know, this looks like DLC. I'm thinking fanboy terms. I'm thinking fanboy logic, right? With that type of stuff, console war shit, right? No, I don't see anyone seriously, even with review, like, well, a lot of these reviews really are some bullshit, but even if you're reviewing a game, right? Who says, oh, this looks like, you know, it looks and plays like DLC? What the fuck does, like, what does that mean? You get what I'm saying? That's the part that I keep trying to wrap my head around, because that's such a console war terminology. And really and truly, we really didn't start seeing that until last generation, where you saw a lot of people saying, oh yeah, you know, to kind of downplay a game, right? It says, oh, this looks like DLC. What? Like, you know, that you downplaying a game with that type of bullshit. You get what I'm saying? That's not really something that's not really a valid, in my opinion at least, that's not really a valid critique of a game, because you're not, or even a valid analysis of a game, because you're not really giving any type of, to say something looks like DLC doesn't serve any purpose in a good or bad way. Well, in a bad way is minimizing it, not in a good way, right? If you were trying to sell somebody on a game, right, or if you're talking to viewers and you're like, yeah, this, you know, this is, you know, the trailer just looks like DLC. This is how you speak of a game that was your favorite game of last generation? One of your favorite games of all time? You get what I'm saying? Who speak? And this is why I say, and shout out to Barry, because, you know, we actually recently talked about this on WUPS, where we were talking about the enthusiasm for, you know, like some of these reviewers or some of these journalists, like that lack of enthusiasm that just, or that lack of excitement that just isn't there, right? If something that I'm excited for, if there's a game that's coming out for me and it's the greatest game of, I think it's one of the greatest games of all time, and the second game, it improves upon that, or it at least maintains that essence of what I'm used to. If it maintains that if it maintains the efforts of what I'm used to with the first game, of what made the first game so great, and the second game is expanding upon the story, and, you know, obviously making the worlds more grand, and, you know, you seeing all the combat and everything that Atreus and Kratos is doing. I don't know if I'm impressed, right? And again, I'm not expecting everyone to think or feel like me, but, you know, to say that something is your favorite game of all time, but then turn around and say this looks like DLC, that seems very minimizing, and realistically speaking, at least to me, right? It comes off a little disrespectful. Shout out to Braxton. He says, diminishing all effort put into a sequel is just DLC is reductive, reducive, and comes off like a fanboy downplaying a game that's exclusive to a platform they don't like. That's what I'm saying. Yo, Braxton, perfect. That's perfectly said. That's perfectly said. You get what I'm saying? And see, I think the reason why this is kind of resonating and with so many people in the community is because of who's saying it. If it was like some regular Joe Schmo, nobody ass person on Twitter saying this, I mean, most people's not gonna pay attention. You got the creator of God of War that's kind of using these very dismissive and diminishing terms to describe a game that he himself has just said is his favorite game of all time. You get what I'm saying? That comes off as and see here's the other side of it too, right? And I think this is, well, you know what? Let's watch a little bit more. I'll explain the second part of that in a bit, but let's watch a little bit more.
But my whole video or my whole comment was about the trailer didn't make me feel. Now, it made other people feel, and that's great, but it didn't make me feel, and clearly it didn't make you feel that either, because you're saying you didn't see anything that, you know, felt all that different compared to like even God of War 1 and God of War 2 back in the day. So I was just saying, yeah, I'm excited to play it because it's God of War, but the trailer was okay. But the point is, though, I don't think you're right. If you go back and look at the God of War 2 trailer, and I believe...
So this is where he's going to show... So this is... Once he shows... He's going to show this God of War clip here. Once he shows this clip and explains his stance, I'm going to go to the Ragnarok clip and kind of do like a quick little... my own little quick analysis real quick. But he's going... So here he's going to explain how from God of War 1 to God of War 2... there were things put into the trailer to get you super excited for the game. To show that there was growth or whatever the case may be. I'll let him explain it.
I believe this is the first one that was, it was the E3 reveal trailer. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'll scrub through it. Did you get the idea that it was more of God of War that you loved? Absolutely. Sure as fuck. You know, the grapple and the chains, and he was... the big set pieces and going hand over hand, all that was in there, okay? But what was also in here was, why is it so, there we go. You know, you had the flying stuff with Pegasus, which we had never done before, which at the time was like, holy shit, that was the big moment that we were busting our asses for, or the team was busting their asses for. I was in San Diego to get ready for E3. You had grappling, which we had never done before, sort of like swinging and sort of building that into various puzzles. That was in there. You had more proof of even bigger wow moments of context sensitive, not context sensitive, but big opening vista shots like the Colossus of Rhodes, or you saw, I forget what they're called, but the horses back there at the very beginning. So
I want to stop him right there. Hold on, the fucking sirens. All right, so that was one of... So you see how he spoke about the vistas and like the grappling hook and like the flight and things like that, right? You know, all these things that were great to do in God of War 2 and in later games, right? But again, I think him looking at this new trailer, right? This only trailer that we've seen, I think some of that stuff that a lot of us playing the first game, seeing in the second game, really is really going over his head, in my opinion, right? Again, just my opinion, right? Because if we go to God of War, why is the closed caption on? If we go to God of War Ragnarok, right, and we watch this trailer, let's go through the trailer real quick. I'm gonna get y'all super chats in just a second as well. I got y'all. So let's stop right here. At the start of the game. And again, this is just me just looking. This is just me. Like I'm giving it from my perspective, my point of view, right? Again, Jaffe's entitled to his own opinion, but we're also entitled to critique his gaming takes, just like people are entitled to critique my gaming takes, right? But in the beginning of this, just in the first shot here, you're looking at, you know, if you look outside, you see there's more weather, right? It's snowing, very windy. You can barely see. Then if you look inside and you look at Kratos, you see that the fur that he's wearing is fluttering, right? So that hair follicle technology that's being used, crazy. You look at his beard and you see that the wind that's blowing is making his beard move and things like that. You see his facial expressions. You see the lines in his forehead and things like that. That shit, to me, that looks great. That looks like a step up from what we've seen in the first game. And again, the first game was phenomenal. But let's continue.
Time is running out. The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok.
So if you look at Atreus' hair, you see how Atreus' hair is fluttering in the wind. You see all this windy snow and everything around. Again, much more dynamic environments. You see the fur that Atreus is wearing is fluttering in the wind. At least from what I interpreted, the environments that we're going to be in are going to be much more dynamic and much more crazy, especially if you're playing on PlayStation 5.
War is coming. My story doesn't end hiding in these woods. I should be out there, finding out who I am, who Loki is.
I will not allow you to pick a fight with gods.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard,
Maybe that's what Mother wanted.
we do not know what Mother wanted.
Well, I recognize that dour expression anywhere.
So again, you know, we get to the frozen ice area. This is so. For those that played the first game, this is where the gates of all the gates are of the 9 realms. And remember how he was on a boat, right? But obviously it's winter. You know, winter is coming, right? So you know it's cold, so it's iced over. You can see in the draw distance, you see the mountains. You even see like a little bit up here at the top, like the taller mountains. You see all the snow. You see all the wind. You see all that shit there. The environments again look much more dynamic, much more crazy. And then if we look at Atreus and Kratos, again, looks much more detailed, and it looks crazy to me. And I'm playing this at 4K. You're seeing it at 1440p, but I'm looking at it at 4K.
Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
What if there was someone who could help us?
You mean Tyr?
So again, you know, one of the things that Jaffe said in his video was for the second trailer, they were showing great vistas and things like that of things that were improvements from the first game. This trailer here, where it shows you walking to the edge to look over at this very beautiful looking shot, where clearly this is shit that you clearly letting you know, hey, this is the world, this is like part of the world or whatever, this is where you're going to be exploring. And even if you look right here to the left, like right near Kratos's leg, excuse me, his arm, you see like this little looks like a little town area and whatnot. Does this not look beautiful? Does this not look next gen? Does it not look like a step up from what we got in the first game? I'm really asking y'all the questions, not rhetorical. Does it not look like a step up? Does it not look like the developers and whatnot does this look like DLC? Because again, what does that mean?
The old god of war in these lands, who is dead.
Well, for a dead man, Odin seemed pretty keen on seeing.
So in this shot here, you're seeing a lot more life in the areas that you're going to be in, because you're seeing, like, you know, village people or whatever you want to call these. Like, obviously we don't know who these are yet, but you see a lot more life in the village that you're in. So clearly the areas that you visit that have people, they're definitely going to be much more lively, much more NPCs, much more things happening in the world. Again, that's a step up from the first game. In most of the world in the first game, it was mostly you and Atreus, and then the enemies. There weren't really any areas or environments where you know, except for when you went to go talk to the 2 midget dudes. I forgot their names, but most of the areas was just you and Atreus, and then some enemies would just spawn when you had to fight, and that was it. There wasn't really any villages or worlds or things like that where you can kind of be in like a village type area where you got all these other NPCs and all these other things going on at the same time.
he wasn't found.
Is that not a step up? Is that DLC?
If he's out there, we gotta find him.
Come in.
What in all yarns be the happen to him?
We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people. And what if the only way to do...
So if we look here, we're actually seeing a brand new enemy type here, because this wasn't one of the enemy types that we had in the first game. I don't know what the enemy type is, but clearly this is a brand new enemy type. 2 new enemy types, because you see like the grunt like enemies, right? But then you also see the bigger brute like enemy as well. This is a brand new enemy type in the game.
Do that as war.
And we see that they're, you know, they shooting shit at him and shit like that. Hold on. It's one thing about New York, man. The warmer it gets, the fucking sirens go like crazy. I had to shut my fucking windows, man. I was trying to have the windows open, but fuck that. But anyway, a new enemy type here. there's a couple of enemy types that you're going to see as well. There's a couple of enemy types that you'll see in the throughout this trailer as well. Also, so in the first game with the Blaze of Chaos, you couldn't pull yourself towards an enemy. What you did with the Blaze of Chaos in the first game was you could latch your Blaze of Chaos to an enemy, but then you would slam them down. You couldn't pull yourself to an enemy in the first game.
War is not the only way.
Stop thinking like a father for a moment and start thinking like a general.
No!
Another new enemy type here. Another new enemy type that we're gonna be fighting here. These look like possessed Vikings and whatnot.
You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you a calm and reasonable person?
So another enemy type. So these are Asgardians, right? So now obviously we're gonna be fighting Asgardians, and if you look here, how he spawns in, right, through the Bifrost, that's brand new. That's a new type of element in the game now, of you got enemies spawning down through the Bifrost, right? It obviously is much more pretty, very colorful, the effects and things like that. Again, a new enemy type, a new way that enemies are coming in. That's brand new. And this is a brand new area as well. Another brand new enemy type that's in the game here. This crocodile looking enemy. So we did have like these Komodo dragon looking enemies in the first game, but this is definitely like a much more beefed up version of that for this game. And if you look at how detailed he looks and the color pattern and whatnot, this looks pretty amazing actually. It looks really dope. Look how detailed he looks, bro. Look at his arms, bro. This fucking enemy is jacked, bro. This man has been hitting the gym, something crazy. My man's is jacked. Do you see my man's arms? Hey, yo. You see this enemy's arms, bro? This thing is jacked.
In moments of crisis.
So we have another enemy type with Minotaur. What are these? These aren't called Minotaurs, but they're called something. I forget what these are. Are these called Minotaurs? No, these are called oh my god, what are they called? Somebody help me on the chat. I forgot what they call these enemies. But here's another brand new enemy type in the game that you'll be fighting. So centaurs, thank you, centaur, thank you so much. Shout out to the chat. You know, round of applause for the folks in the chats. If the thing want to play. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat. So again, so now we've seen 4 brand new enemies. So let's run through the list real quick before we finish out this trailer. We've seen much more broad vistas or much more open worlds. One, brand new from what we've seen from the first game to the second. We've seen much more lively areas of the game where there's NPCs and life, right? That's brand new. We've seen 4 new enemy types in the game. That's brand new. We've seen Kratos do a brand new move where now he can pull himself towards enemies with using the Blades of Chaos. That's brand new. So far we're at about 8 new things within this trailer. Based off what Jaffe has said, this just looks like DLC.
Panic does nothing. Harness it.
Oh, this is the same enemy type.
Let it serve you.
So if we look right here, we actually see that Atreus has a new ability type. So, you know, Atreus in the first game, you know, you can use him to shoot like arrows and stuff like that. But when Atreus built up his like super meter or whatever you want to call it, there was different like spirit animals and whatnot that he could call, like the wolves, the elk, There was another one too. I don't know if it was like a bear or something, but I always used to use the wolves because them wolves used to fuck these enemies up. But we see here that Atreus is actually calling not just a different spirit animal, but he's actually interacting with the spirit animal. So in the first game, he would just call it and it would do what it do, and that was it. What we'll see here, and let me slow this down because you might actually miss this. So let's slow this down just a bit, right? So if you actually look right here and pay attention here, you'll actually see Atreus jump onto the spirit animal and actually interact. That's something brand new that we didn't have in the first game. Let's watch. Oops, did I oh, I sped it up. My fault. So you see Atreus, and look what he's doing. He's actually interacting with the spirit animal. Do y'all see this? Y'all see this? Y'all see what he's doing? That's actually, hey, they just showed another move that Kratos can do now with his Blades of Chaos. Let's go back to normal speed. So they actually show a brand new move that Kratos does too. So this is brand new. This move right here. That throw up moves that he's doing with the Blades of Chaos, that's brand new. So again, something new that we had in the second game that we didn't have in the first.
Tyr.
Obviously we see Tyr. We're saving Tyr from the prison.
Coming with us.
So let's stop right there. So through this entire trailer, which is a 3-minute and 16-second trailer, we've counted now about 10 to 11 brand new things that we're seeing in this trailer that you should be able to do in the first game, in the second game, that you could not do in the first. So my question to you, chat, is based off Jaffe's original what's the word I'm looking for? Original gripe, or original, like his original opinion of, you know, it looks like more of the same. It looks like DLC, right? And then coupling that with what he explained to be some of the changes that he made from the first game to the second game when it came from God of War to God of War 2. When he showed the first trailer, he showed the grappling, right? He showed the flying that you'd be able to do. He explained that, you know, they also added more vistas and things like that into the trailer to show that this game was definitely going to be different from the first. So my question to you, chat, is this. Based off what the quick little analysis that we have just done with this trailer, does this game not look not vastly, but does this game not look different from the first in terms of what we are seeing here? I just pointed out 11 things that are different in this game that you could not do in the first game. And I'm really asking you guys this question. Am I off base here? I ask that. I come to you humbly asking that question. Am I off base here? Because again, we just did a live analysis of this trailer to see if we could spot if there were anything different from this game. We have 4 new enemy types that are now in the game. Again, and again, we already know that whole, oh yeah, it looks like DLC. That's a very console war term, right? Which blows my mind that Jaffe even used that as a way to describe a trailer. That really threw me off, I'm not gonna lie. But with what we're seeing here, by his definition, this is, and what he would deem as a good trailer, based off what he has shown as an example, this is not DLC. So my question is, why use that terminology? Why use that to describe a game? Why use that to describe a game that you said that is one of your favorite games of all time? Knowing and understanding where that term comes from, what that term truly means. If you truly are friends and have respect and and whatnot for these people that are working on this game with Sony Santa Monica. Why use a very diminishing, disrespectful, and demeaning term like that to describe a trailer of a 3-minute trailer, first trailer, by the way, of a game that you deem one of your favorite games of all time as the creator? You see where it comes off base here? And this goes back to my other the other things I was saying of it comes off bitter, right? Because there are examples here that prove that. Because if you call somebody out, especially Jaffe, him trying to explain himself of why this is not right, why I called it this and things like that, by his definition, this trailer is not DLC. It doesn't even scream or look like DLC from what he explained is a good first trailer. We just counted 11 things, ladies and gentlemen. We just counted 11 things that take this game out of the realm of being DLC. Because again, you show the viewer what is new from the first game. And for the people who really love this God of War and who have really played this, they are seeing the shit that's new. So my question is, why say that? Why say that? Because a lot of people feel that he's bitter and things like that because of his relationship with PlayStation, which, he denies, right? And who am I to call him a liar? That's, he's denying it's okay. But see, here's the thing. Shout out to Batman Begins. Shout out to Barry, who always uses this term. It's not your words, but your actions who defines you. You can say whatever you want, but it's the actions. And right now, the actions that we have seen over time does not display that of someone who is not bitter. It displays that of the opposite, which again, shout out to the super chats, man. Shout out to a Viper, man. He said favorite game of all time, but refused to play it when it first came out. He reluctantly played it because it's a can't miss game. I know, it's crazy, right? Shout out to Ash and Luca, appreciate you. She says, I just wonder like if the game is a sequel made on the same engine, at the end of the day, it's just his opinion, so whatever, but why even comment? It's a great question. Okay, if I speak on Atreya's voice, shout out to Luca on the other super chat. He said, okay, if I speak on Atreya's voice. Hey, man, shout out to Luca. Kiso said, like Janet Jackson says, what have you done for me lately? Oh, shit. Talking to fanboys got Jaffe in his feelings. Yo, Mr. Go Tryhard, that's what I'm saying, bro. This comes off, and again, man, it hurts to say this because I have so much respect for Jaffe and what he has done for the industry, right? That'll never go away from me, man. Like he is definitely a legend in his own right within this industry, right? But I feel that he is coming off very bitter, especially with this God of War Ragnarok. I even would say the first game, he might have some type of animosity towards that to some degree. It's Payne Wackham says sequels are almost always more of the same anyway. But if it works, does it work though? Right? If a game comes out and it's kind of okay, but it doesn't really exceed the expectations of the audience, or it doesn't really reach a mass appeal, right? And the second game comes out and it fixes all of that, that's a great sequel. If you have a game that originally comes out that's extremely successful, right? It reaches a wide audience, right? It's got mass success, mass appeal. Going into that second game, at least again, and I'm speaking of what I would do. I would definitely try to improve upon what's already there. But sometimes with people, what happens is when you do create a game that's so great and so successful, and then in the second game you try to change too much, it actually ends up becoming worse. And I think what Sony Santa Monica, when they were in that concept phase of building God of War Ragnarok, especially with this being the last game, remember Cory Barlog and Eric Williams both said this God of War series is not going to be a trilogy. It's going to be a two-game. It's going to be two games. So the God of War 2018 and then this game Ragnarok, and that's it, right? And they've said that this game is actually vastly larger than that of 2018 God of War. So you couple that information with the mass success of the first game, I could see Sony Santa Monica being in the concept in the concept phase and in the meeting saying, okay, let's talk about what worked and what did not work and go from there. And when you look at God of War 2018 and what worked, a vast majority of that worked. And judging by this trailer, I can from what I'm seeing thinking they fixed what did not work and added in some extra things that they probably wanted to do in the first game and either didn't have time or thought or it couldn't fit. But here's my thing. Because this is something that gets thrown around a lot, where you have people who'll say this looks like DLC, but they tend to only really say it when it's PlayStation, right? PlayStation games get such heavy criticism, right? They always have to be perfect. Right? Then when we talk about other games that we love, right? So Pokemon, for instance, should all these other Pokemon games not have just been DLC? Because really, the premise and concept has never changed for Pokemon. You still are you start off as this kid it's not Pallet Town anymore, but in whatever town it is, in the Sinnoh region or wherever the hell they at. You start out as this kid. You choose from 3 Pokemon, that is water, grass, and fire, right? And you start out on this journey to fill this Pokédex for this professor and fight these gym leaders. And I'm thinking old terms of like the Indigo Plateau and becoming the best trainer and all that. But in this new concept, it's still the same. You choose your Pokemon, you go and capture all Pokemon, you go and fill the Pokédex, you go and fight these gym leaders, you go and fight the ultimate leader at the end, and that's the end of the game. That has been the same premise of Pokemon for 20 plus years. Mario is the same thing. Mario doing his thing, Princess Peach get snatched up by Bowser. Mario gotta go save Princess Peach and beat Bowser and go through all these levels and fight the same turtles, the same ghosts, the same bullet baddies, and all this other shit, and going up and down the same manhole for almost 30 plus years. Zelda, the same fucking thing. You wake up, you don't know who you are, you don't know what you got to do, but you gotta go save Zelda, and your name is Link. And you get a sword and a shield, and you go and fight the baddies. And it's always Ganondorf. Not Gandalf. Oh my god. Is it Ganondorf? Oh my god. Oh my god. My gamer card about to get revoked. What's the Zelda enemy name? Somebody tell me in the chat. What's the Zelda's enemy's name? I forgot. It's Ganondorf, right? I forgot. My brain is like all over the place. But it's been the same shit. It's been the same shit. Yeah, it's Ganondorf, right? Thank you, Ganondorf. It's been the same shit for 30 plus years. And I have not once seen somebody utter that this feels like this is just DLC. They're an anomaly. It's Nintendo. They're an anomaly. They're an anomaly. Should Halo Infinite have been DLC? You get what I'm saying? You get where I'm going with this though? Because I'm be honest, and I'm not saying that it does not happen for like Nintendo and Xbox games, but I see it happen more with PlayStation games. That's where I am noticing it the most. Again, I'm not absolving Nintendo and Xbox, but I see it more with PlayStation. Now listen, let me know in the chat if I'm wrong. Let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong. That's where I'm seeing it. And the funny thing is, PlayStation are the ones that are innovating the most. PlayStation are the ones that are trying to bring you new experiences. Developers that are trying to improve upon themselves with every game. And when you hear this, oh, it looks like and again, for jokes and stuff like that with that console war shit, that's always going to happen, right? This is not what that is. This is why I said, if this was anybody else, you wouldn't even have gotten a show from me. I'm gonna be honest, because you know, a lot of these nobody ass dudes that be running around Twitter, nobody cares, right? It's the fact of who it is and the caliber of this person that's saying it, and the fact that they're using a fanboy term like this or a console war term like this that had me like, whoa, like yo, this is whoa, like what? And part of me is like, Jaffe, do you even know what that term truly means? Are you trying to stay hip? Jaffe, you feel me? That is what has thrown me off with a lot of this shit. And listen, man, you know, if Sony Santa Monica, if the devs are listening or whoever, man, listen, you know, you're on the right place. You're on the right track. Because here's the thing. The facts, data, and statistics do not lie. I say this with everything because I deal in absolutes. I deal in the facts. I deal in what is definitive, right? Opinions are great, right? And the opinions serve their purpose in certain areas. But the facts, data, and statistics is always going to be definitive. That cannot be disputed, right? And what the facts, data, and statistics are is God of War 2018 is a 20 million plus selling game. It's one of the largest and most popular games for PlayStation in its history. It's a large success. Continue doing what you're doing because it works. Gene Park using console war terminology like one and done as well in regards to PlayStation. Yeah, Braxton, I caught that a while back and I was like, one and done? Where are y'all getting, like, what is making people use these console war terminology? Like, that is some real console war shit. One and done? It looks like DLC? Come on, man. We're not stupid. Majora's Mask literally uses Ocarina of Time assets and characters. Of course it does. It's funny, actually. Majora's Mask is one of the few Zeldas I actually did not play. I'll probably go back and play it eventually, but of course it does. I'm not surprised. It's reusing the same shit. But see, here's the thing about Nintendo. Their games sell in the millions, in the tens of millions. Why would they change what works? People are enjoying it. People love it. People love it. And again, going back to the God of War Ragnarok situation, we counted, ladies and gentlemen, we've counted 11 things that are new in this new God of War that wasn't in the first one. What are we talking about here? Just for shits and giggles. God of War announcement trailer. Just for shits and giggles. Just for giggles. Just for shits and giggles, right? Let's look at the God of War 2018 trailer, right? And I want you guys to add, I want you guys to tell. We're gonna watch this trailer, right? And I want you guys to truthfully tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat, right? I want you to tell me if, from looking at the first trailer and then looking at the second one, what you think. I really want to know. I really want to know y'all thoughts.
That dome hammer doesn't scare me. Oh no!
Boy! Your mother's knife. It belongs to you now.
You notice how there's no, so let's go back real quick. I'm sorry, guys. You notice how in this first game, you notice like just off rip, like his face and everything, it's just like, nah, right? Like it just doesn't, like it looks great, but looking at the second one, like, all right, you see the upgrade there. But you notice how in the world, like, you notice how like in the world, there's no wind, like there's very little wind. His fur is not moving. His hair not moving. Like there's very little going on in the world, right? It comes off very static. You get what I'm saying? You know, ain't no wind. The plant's not moving, right? This is wintertime. Like it's snowing. It's snowy. You notice how it's not windy and none of that. Like it's a little static.
Your mother's knife. It belongs to you now.
What for?
A test. She taught you to hunt, yes?
Yes, sir.
Then show me what you know. I am hungry.
I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw this trailer, and the first time I saw this, and he like came out the shadows like that, and it was Kratos. Hey, yo, I went crazy, bro. I was like, yo, what the hell? Oh my god!
Feed us.
What are we hunting?
You are hunting deer.
Now it's how it's snowing. You see like the snow, it's not a whole lot of snow, right? You see how the background, like the backdrop is a little blurry, right? You see how there's no, like not a whole lot of wind, not a lot going on in the environment, very static. Let's continue.
Hunt. You tell me.
South?
Is that a question?
South.
Notice how all the trees are static. Like it's not like a whole lot moving or going on. Like it's a little static. Looking at the second game and seeing what we saw. I mean, let's continue.
Look! Tracks! They're fresh! This way! Found it!
Slow down, boy.
Sorry.
You must think. Do not simply react. Be calm and plan.
It's just, I'm not used to hunting. There it is!
Hold. What are you doing? Now its guard is up. Only fire. Only fire. When I tell you to fire.
I'm sorry.
Do not be sorry.
Be better.
Be better.
Do not be sorry.
Fight.
Be better.
Find it.
You're right, Least. There'll never be another E3 like E3 2016. That was the greatest E3 of all time, in my opinion.
My bow!
No! You are not ready! Stay back!
I'm beating this that? I hope this finisher is in the game too. This was a dope ass finisher. Oh my god.
I knew something fell off about the forest.
Keep moving.
You know, if you give me my bow back, I can help you fight. I'm ready.
You have.
And don't get it twisted. This looks great, right? This looks great.
You had a chance.
But then when you look at the second game and you see how much more lively it is, right? The colors and things like that pop more. The world is much more how do you say, much more dynamic.
Back away, boy. Here's your chance. Show me already.
Yes, sir!
Back off, little clean ankle. And space your shots. I will draw it for me.
Clearly you see like, yo, the fights are so great in this game. And like, again, like I said, they just improved the fights. You know, like they made everything much faster. Like you can see in the second game, you know, he's hitting and swinging much faster. He's moving a lot faster. There's a lot, like it's definitely. Yo, this trailer was so amazing, man. I remember when we first seen this, bruh. This shit had me so goddamn hyped.
Shoot it. It is time. I will bring it down. You will kill it.
Man, that Spartan rage, that shit was crazy. Ooh. He beat the shit out of him.
Now, boy. Do it. Off the ice. No.
This trailer was amazing, yo. This trailer was amazing. I am so sorry.
Your deer is getting away.
Crazy, bruh.
Yes, sir.
Crazy. You gonna tell me that that there is no step up from this first trailer to the second trailer? You crazy, man. Y'all, yo, man, these folks out of their goddamn mind, man. Stop, cut the cap, man. Cut the cap. Where's the cut the cap? Shout out to Braxton. He says, if you play a lot of Souls games, you'll notice enemies, sounds, animations, etc. get reused a lot. If Sony did it that much, they would get destroyed. That's a fact. That is a fact. Yeah, I'm gonna open up the chat real quick for a little bit. If y'all want to come through, chop it up for a little bit. Throw it in the chat real quick. Y'all want to give y'all thoughts on this whole David Jaffe situation? Want to give your thoughts on this David Jaffe situation? Join the conversation. So shout out to the poll. Let's see what the poll. So 210 votes. And 88% of y'all say, yo, that shit do not look like no DLC. Shout out to the 210 of you that voted, man. Appreciate y'all. Yo, SIE, man, I appreciate you for the super chat. If y'all want to come through and chop it up for a bit, man, we can jump into the Discord. I'm in the Discord. Want to give your thoughts. But yo, then that's what it is, man. And it's crazy because when you really think about it and when you really look at it, uh like looking at this first trailer, yeah, the 12% that say yes, those definitely some bots. Them fanboys, them Xbox fanboys, they say, yeah. Shout out to them. But yo, like when you really think about it, it's like, yo, looking at that first trailer and looking at the second trailer, there definitely is a huge difference. There's a step up. Dark Artemis, True Bleed, what's good, man? J Doggy, everybody, shout out to y'all in the chat. There's definitely a huge step up. So I don't know why hate constantly on greatness. That's what I'm saying, man. I wish I could tell you. I don't know myself, right? It's kind of crazy when you think about it. 'Cause it's like, yo, why even feel that way, right? That whole, again, using that term just like threw me off. I'm just like, yo, Jaffe, you what Padme say to Anakin? You're breaking my heart. You're going down a path that I cannot follow. That's why I'm like, yo, chill, bro. What you talking about? What are you talking about, man? So yeah. Yo, I got like Star Wars on the brain, man. I've been watching nothing but like Star Wars and doing Star Wars shit like all week, man. They hate me because they ain't me. Ain't that the truth? The truth. That is the truth. Shout out to the truth, man. What Alex said, delusional. Plus Ultra, what's good, man? What up, Carba?
Yo, it's dude. Which reality do we live in?
Before you go, I want to say this: don't be disrespectful to Jaffe. Like keep it very
I'm not
respectful.
going to be disrespectful. I'm just going to be factual and factually. That's it.
All right, go ahead.
I know your rules. This is not about disrespecting a person, but just proving the person wrong.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. He is a dev. He, out of all people, should know better than this. One, he's using console war thing, something that a lot of devs claim to hate. Two, out of all people, he should absolutely know that this is one, not only is not DLC, two, it's disrespectful to even insinuate or even say that. When you yourself are again a dev, imagine if someone said that to your own work. It's beyond unbelievable because we all know where one and done and especially the ulti comes from. It basically the insinuation is you're paying for a game that looks the same, plays the same, and yet you're paying $60 instead of $15 DLC. That's basically all it is, and he knows it. And here's the thing. I'm not gonna disrespect Jaffe, but I'm just gonna say it how it is. He either he enjoys the console war or he just wants attention. Because are you aware of the joke that he made about PlayStation?
No, what joke is that?
Well, it's in such bad taste, I couldn't even believe it that he made it. Well, shout out to OT, he is the one that shared it. So there was a Twitter post where they showed a few PlayStation mascots. They asked which mascot is which.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Don't repeat that here. I don't want you to repeat that here. I know what you're talking about though. But let's stay on. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But let's stay on topic with this whole God of War situation. So like, what's your thoughts on like people? You know, not just David Jaffe, but like just people referring to it as DLC and whatnot, and looking at like both trailers and whatnot. How you feel about that?
Okay, so here's the thing. Real talk. When I first saw the trailer for God of War, I thought to myself, this looked nothing than what I played beforehand. I didn't pay attention to everything that you said when it comes to the snow and everything like that, because all I wanted was a new stuff. Like for example, back then like for example with Forbidden West, you saw directly new monsters. You saw directly that you're able to slam, you're able to grapple hook and stuff like that. But with God of War, you saw a few bits of it, but it was not enough for me to say, okay, wow. Now I'm very excited. But after playing Forbidden West, I'm more than excited for God of War Ragnarok because I know they're gonna improve on everything, and I already love the game. Like for example, I shared it with you on in chat. Apparently they gonna have a different shield. They're gonna have different functionality. So clearly they are working on the game and improving on it in every aspect. Especially how you said that what's his name? Atreus can now write summons. Like that's something new.
Yeah.
And with new monsters, I'm definitely aware that they are not gonna show everything in literally one trailer. You need to play the entire game before you can say if there's an improvement or not of a fair game.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, Muck, what's good, man?
Hey, what's good? What's good?
Nothing much, man. Glad to have you back, man. What's your thoughts on this whole situation?
I thought DLC is the wrong terminology to use. If he used it's a sequel, I could understand because God of War 2018 was a finished but unfinished game because it had DLC that would be so much, as Corey said, it would turn it into a whole new game. So I think that's why he used that term DLC. But to me, it was in poor taste seeing that all the stuff that was shown, and no, this is the fourth showing. I don't know if people remember the fourth showing of Horizon, the new one. It was like, okay, this is a little improvement. The second time they showed that game, it was like, oh, I see. The third time they showed that game, it was like, God damn it, I can't wait to play this game. So I think people need to just calm it down a little bit, because if for your first showing you showed all of what Sony showed, I think that's a good way to just hit you with a little hype. Hey, this is what we have right now. We're gonna show you this, and I'm guaranteeing the second time this game is shown, people are gonna be like, okay, I understand now. But to me, Jaffe is right now in a space where he wants to be that one where Corey and I can't remember what's the new director name, but he wants to be in that seat again because he sees all the hype that Sony's drumming up for these guys, and I think he's just I don't know, he's just in a weird space where he just wants that kind of attention.
Okay, I hear you on that, man. I respect that. Chris, what's good, man?
Yo, what's good, everybody? What's up, man? Listen, man, Jaffe's gaming takes is absolute trash, bro. I respect the man as a person, right? But his gaming takes is past recently, dog. I don't know what the hell is going on. He exposed himself by not knowing what the fuck be going on in games, right? With like Metroid Dread and stuff like that. So the whole DLC thing was always funny to me because I just sent you a tweet, Persona, that I made last year, right? Because I knew this shit was gonna happen, right? I said this was like back in June before they even showed God of War Ragnarok. I said God of War Ragnarok will most likely have a gameplay reveal for the next PS5 event, but I suspect when we see it, there will be people saying it looks like God of War 2018, right? Or saying that it's a DLC. This is where we're at gaming, folks, where people complain about sequels to games looking similar to the first, right? And so My whole thing is like when Jaffe, when he was saying that, when he was breaking down the whole, what one did this, and then when we got to God of War 2, it did this, it brought this new to the table, right? Then when we get to 3, it brings this new to the table and shit like that. When you can obviously see new things that we didn't do in 2018, like you know, like bigger worlds, we're gonna go through more realms. You can now grapple with the chains of chaos, right, or the blade of chaos, right, which is going to open up the level design, right, and make it more vertical and make the battles more dynamic and stuff like that. How you maneuver through the environments and through different combat scenarios and puzzle solvings, right, which is one of my complaints of the first game. I love the first game, but it was like the level design was still a little bit basic, right? But now with these new add-on features, right, it's going to open that even more. We know they're going to bring more enemy varieties, right? We're going to go back to the same realms, but the same realms are going to be completely changed because of, you know, the winter, right? The Ragnarok winter is going to change shit up. So there's going to be things that open up before that when we do revisit some of these places in the first game, things are going to open up more. We're going to see new locations. You know what I mean? We're finally going to fight Thor and Odin, which we didn't, you know, so I just don't understand, like, what do people expect from a direct continuation of a story in a sequel? Like what did they expect a God of War 3 or God of War Ascension to 2018 type of difference? Like, I just don't understand it, and I don't understand why is it coming from somebody like Jaffe, who is a developer, right? A very well respected developer. He made one of the best. God of War is in my top 5 favorite gaming franchises of all times, right? So he started off with one of the best. But he should know better as the fucking, like, that's what's blowing my mind. He should know better as a video game director, because everybody can, you could say that with any game. So is he going to say Gears 5 is DLC? Is he going to say Forza Horizon 5 was DLC? Is he going to say Spider-Man 2 is DLC to Miles Morales? Like, what? Like, I just don't get where the hell he's coming from. Is
Only
fanboy
PlayStation
shit.
have DLC. Didn't you know that?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and Persona is right. It's mainly the PlayStation fan. I did see a little bit with Breath of the Wild too. Some people were saying, "Oh, it looks like DLC or whatever," right? But not as much as when Horizon got shown. Not as much as when God of War is shown and stuff like that. And it's like, and especially now. And you know what's crazy? He's one of the ones who started the whole rumor about what he heard about the length of God of War Ragnarok. Remember, the whole 40-hour length. He was the one who broke that news. So the game is going to be way bigger than the first game. How the hell is that DLC? DLC stands for downloadable content, which is an addition, a smaller addition, an add-on to an existing game.
Yo, Chris, but that's why. Okay, finish your thought. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that. That's what I'm saying too. Like when I was saying at the beginning of the show, where I was saying, look, that's that whole this looks like DLC. That's a console war term. That's some console war shit that people use in the console wars. That's what was really throwing me off. I'm like, yo, this huh? This looks like DLC. That's a very fanboy console war term to belittle and downplay a game, right? How is this your favorite game of all time? But then here you are belittling and downplaying the game by using those console war terms, right? That comes off as, that to me at least, that came off very funny. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you use oh, it looks like DLC, you're belittling the game and you're downplaying the developer's efforts to bring out a sequel. You know what I mean? So it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Coming from somebody like him, everybody else, you know, smooth, you know. Everybody even fucking Tom Warren and people like them, right? The journalists. I would expect that shit from them. Like if I saw an article by like, I don't know, Kotaku saying God of War looks, it's whatever, right? Journalists are trash. It's a $20 article anyways, right? But like him, a developer himself, that's what throws me off.
Hey, them $20 articles, bro. That's a night of groceries. You feel me? Shit. Go ahead.
Or does it seem that someone like Delhi, have shown more respect towards this industry than Jaffe at this point?
And what?
Like who?
And what?
Delhi.
He's talking about Agent. He's talking about Agent Delhi. That's Luca's friend.
When we interviewed him, he never once punched down about developers and stuff like that, and the gaming industry as a whole.
Yeah. Agent Delhi, he a cool dude, cool developer to talk to. So you know, I get that. I agree. Yo, Bad Nibba, what's up, man? Welcome to the conversation, man. What you got for us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'll try to keep this brief because I'm at work. So sorry.
Just real quick, who are you? Who are you in the chat so I know for the future? Like in the YouTube chat. What's your name in the YouTube chat?
Young Brib. I sent a couple.
Oh,
messages
Young Brib. All right, what's good, bro?
Stream.
Yeah, what's good, bro? All right, cool. Go ahead, give us your thoughts.
Yeah. So I definitely disagree with the whole DLC thing. Like the one line alone, like Sony Santa Monica said, like all 9 realms are going to be in this game. So that like alone should already tell you just like the type of scale like we're going to be dealing with, like this open world. Like it's going to be way vast, and I believe there's going to be way more things to do in this game. And if you watch the Raising Kratos like documentary that came out after 2018 came, like I remember Cory Barlog like said that they kind of had a lot of like budget issues. Like most of the budget went into those Baldur boss fights. That's why there was like kind of a little bit of a dip in quality compared to the other ones. They were still great. Like I loved the Valkyries, especially the Queen of the Valkyries, right? But with Ragnarok, I seriously believe that, you know, Sony Santa Monica definitely like knows what they're doing with this game. They can reuse a few assets. And this might be a little bit of a hot take, but I seriously believe like the Thor boss fight is going to be like one of the best like boss fights like in the entire franchise, honestly. Just after seeing like what that first boss fight with Baldur or the Stranger in 2018 was, like Thor is going to be crazy. And there's yeah, right. And then there's definitely going to be more weapons to experiment with too. And like you said, Persona, like since this is like kind of like they said this is going to be the cap off to the Norse storyline, it's definitely going to be like a more like lengthier game. So I mean I'm excited. I don't really get the whole DLC thing. Like visually it looks like way better. Like you can see there's a lot of more attention to detail just to like the vistas and the background of the different worlds. So.
Yeah. No, yeah, that, you know, those are great points, and especially with the length, I think the game is gonna be like 50 hours, man. Like,
right?
You know, because again, all 9 realms, and this is capping off the Norse story. This is definitely gonna be a very long game, and so I think that's also why it's kind of taking a while to kind of get it out.
The last point I wanted to make is I also think this might be one of the most controversial games in the franchise. Like I think this will be like The Last of Us 2 for this year, because I think this might be
Kratos gonna die.
Because I don't think this is, even though they're saying this is like they're capping off the Norse like arc, like the Norse storyline, I don't think this is the final God of War game. I just think Kratos is probably dying in this game. And
I remember
like for real, because like you know he dies a lot.
Yeah, he dies a lot, but
I remember one of the developers saying something about the ending. It's gonna be quote shocking or something like that.
What, the end of the game?
Yeah. So there was someone who something in interview or something like that. I remember seeing a comment about how the ending for the new God of War is gonna be leave people speechless.
Oh damn.
So I think Kratos is gonna permanently die, and Atreus is gonna take the mantle as the next God of War.
That's what I think. Yeah, and because then the whole question is like, can you have God of War without Kratos? And I think that's where the controversy is gonna come from.
Yeah, because
I think Kratos' last game.
Because Kratos is the God of War, but we remember it's like Kratos wasn't the original God of War, right? It was Ares, and he didn't become the God of War until he beat Ares, and then that title was transferred over to him. So, you know, if whatever happens to him in Ragnarok, right? If something happens to him, you know, and I'm sure Atreus is gonna be, you know, probably pissed off and on a war, you know, on a war mode or some shit like that. Then he's now carries the title as the new God of War or something like that. So.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get Kratos killed, because like if you see in the Ragnarok trailer, like he's eager to go on this journey, and he's like eager to go to war with the Asgardians, and like Kratos is like, no, Atreus, you don't know what going to war with the gods like actually like means. And I think like Atreus is like, with his like rashness, is gonna get Kratos killed, and so like he might even get that like title, but like he doesn't want it, and it'll just like you said, Chris, right? Just like he might go on a warpath in the next game. I mean, we'll see. But that's kind of my little like tinfoil theory on it.
Yeah, shout out to True Virgil. He says, I think Kratos will die and Atreus will have to go and get him from the underworld. Yeah, like that would be dope though. Like if Kratos, like at the end of this game, Kratos dies, and you know the third, like, and that's kind of why they're saying this is the end of that story or whatever, because it's like, oh, because this is really still Kratos' story. So then the third game is really Atreus' story. You get what I'm saying? So like kind of like a play on words and shit like that, where it's like the third game would be something like that. Yeah, go ahead.
I just shared you in DM on Twitter the article.
Oh, let me see. Oh, Chris, you
All right, I gotta head out. I just wanted to give a few points on
it.
Yeah,
no doubt.
But, nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you pulling up, man.
And I got a next point too. Seeing at God of War 2018 was voted by IGN as one of the best games of the generation. People saying that, oh, this is just a continuation, this is just DLC to that game. It should be, that shouldn't even be like a point to argue if it was one of the best games of a generation. That just shows you that you're gonna get more quality, more bigger moments, more crazier moments, and this should be a game that you should anticipate.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. I agree with that 100%. I definitely think, you know, again, when it comes to, and this is why I said when it comes to, if something is your favorite, is your greatest game of all time, right? And the second game is from what we're seeing with the first trailer, it seems to be doing exactly that, but also proven upon itself with, again, the stuff that I've pointed out. Again, something like, oh, it looks like DLC doesn't even think to exit my mouth of describing what we saw with this very first trailer for Ragnarok. You get what I'm saying?
Do you think?
Yeah, you're 1000% right. And I think he's gonna have to change that when that next trailer drop in the next couple months. I think he's gonna have to rethink that, because I know when this next trailer drop, it is gonna be what we saw times 2.
I think we're gonna get a state of play. That's what I think we're
gonna hype it up more, because I feel this game is gonna drop somewhere between September, November.
Okay. I think we're gonna get the next time they show it. I think it's gonna be a state of play. Like I think we're gonna get like a 15-minute. I mean, they may do it like if they do a showcase.
The same way they did it.
Yeah, if they do a showcase, we may say like another trailer and shit like that. But I think we're gonna get like a 15 or 20-minute like dedicated state of play.
Yeah, the way they did
like
it
a whole walkthrough kind of thing.
Which I can't wait. That's that. As far as like the because the after we passed Horizon and Elden Ring, right? Like those were like my anticipated game for the beginning of the year. My next anticipated game as far as AAA release is Ragnarok. Like I can't wait for that game.
Over Forspoken?
Yeah, hell yeah, over Forspoken. I mean, I'm looking forward to Forspoken, right? But it's God of War. That's like in my top 5 favorite gaming series of all time. Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to it more than Forspoken.
I think Forspoken is in my top 3.
I'm looking for that God of War. I'm not really looking for that Forspoken like how I'm looking for God of War.
Oh man, Forspoken looks so good, man. Like that's Forspoken's in my top 3 for sure. But God of War is definitely number 1.
I'm looking more for Forspoken than God of War. I'm a huge fan of Ithaca. Yeah.
Wait, you said you're looking forward more to Forspoken than God of War? What?
Yeah,
we're gonna have to excommunicate you, bro. Oh no, we're gonna have to excommunicate you, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You out of the gaming community for that. Nah, go ahead, give me.
Nah, for me, it's God of War. Then I'll say Harry Potter. Then Forspoken. And that was
Harry Potter.
Anticipation, yeah.
What's your top 3, Omar?
Sorry.
What's your top 3?
Oh, well, that's a hard one, but I would say, Forspoken, then God of War, then the Harry Potter game. if okay, no, there's also Grand Blue Fantasy, and then there's also what's called
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that
Final-
relink, man. Like, yo, it's
Final
crazy though. Like when it
Fantasy
comes to the
16.
like the Japanese games, man, like Valkyrie, Elysium, Dio Field.
Valkyrie Elysium. Did you
what's the
hear
name?
the quote-unquote rumor that they're now remaster for Valkyrie Profile?
It's Lemonous.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that, Omar. I can't wait, bro.
Is
I
it
can't
Pro?
wait. I can't wait.
Valkyrie
have
Profiles
loved
is
them to
Lemonous
do
though,
a
right?
remake for that instead of a remaster.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I would prefer a remaster. I mean, a remake as well.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, listen, I'm hoping for like that Final Fantasy 9 remake. Personally speaking,
Yeah, that's coming.
even
too.
though like I'm
Would
playing
you rather
through
it
it.
to be? Would you rather it to be Final Fantasy 7 remake for gameplay, or do you want a genuine turn-based?
Nah, I'm gonna be honest. Anything that's a remake from Final Fantasy, I want the remake combat to be like Final Fantasy 7 remake.
So with 9, because I 100% believe 9 remake is coming because everything in the Nvidia leak has so far been true, right? But
yeah.
With 9, I honestly think I don't think they're gonna do what they did with 7 remake. I think it's gonna be a 1-to-1 remake, and I still think they're gonna keep turn-based for it.
You think it's what? You know, I love turn-based, so I'm not too angry at that. Like, but personally speaking, especially after playing Final Fantasy 7 remake twice, like no, I played Final Fantasy 7 remake like 50 times. Like I really replayed that game a lot. But
yeah,
I want that combat, bro. Like that combat. I want for Final Fantasy 9 remake if that's happening.
No, it will be dark. Like I wouldn't be mad at it, but I do think that they're not gonna take the 7 remake approach. We don't know. We don't know what they're gonna do, so we're gonna have to sue it. But yeah, it'll be dope. Like Zidane, like you remember playing Zidane in what was the one on the PSP? Dissidia. That motherfucker was quick as shit. Like that, you know what I mean? That would be like Zidane will be like running around quick as shit. Then you got Vivi. Like yeah, that would be dope. But I don't know. I just think that they're just gonna take a different approach instead of 7 remake with 9, and I think it's gonna be more of a traditional like 1-to-1 remake, right? They're gonna add voice acting, is recreated scenes and stuff like that. But I think they're gonna stick with the turn based, and I think the turn based is gonna make a lot of people happy as well too, because a lot of people have been fiending for Final Fantasy too.
Yeah. I think
to go back to turn-based, which I don't understand why, because we had like 20 Final Fantasy games that are already turn-based. So when they tried new and different shit, the only action Final Fantasy games we had is 15 and 7 remake. So it's not like there's an oversaturation of Final Fantasy action games, right, or action-like games or anything like that. Even them, and even there, we haven't seen what 16 is going to be like. Because with remake, it still had a bunch of turn-based elements to it as well too. So,
but my whole thing with 9 is that I just want 9 to. I think with 9 they're not going to put as much production values in it. I think 9, in terms of its artistic design, I think it'll be closer to like Dragon Quest than Final Fantasy 7 remake. Like in terms of like the remake artistic. But yo, we got Jamil and we got King Kiso here. Jamil, what's good, bro? Happy Friday to you, man. How's the kids and the family and the wife? Oh, that's how you feel, Jamil? All right, cool. Appreciate you. King Kiso, what's good, bro?
What's good, people? What's good, everybody?
I had an issue with my damn mic.
Go ahead, Jamel. You good?
What? It's all good, man. What's good with you, man? Happy Friday, bro.
Thanks. Same to you.
What's good,
I don't
man?
even know. I don't know what's going on here. I didn't listen to the show.
All right, so I'll give you a quick gist. So, we're talking about David Jaffe's calling God of War Ragnarok DLC, and I was explaining like pretty much the gist of the show is I was explaining that, and from back in the day, Jamil, where that whole calling something DLC, that's console war fanboy terminology. That's not really that's not something that is really, in my opinion, respectful or even meant to be that can be taken as disrespect, right? So I was explaining, I was looking at the trailer and pointing out all the differences from the new trailer, from this first trailer of Ragnarok, and like came through with like 10 different new things that's added in, because he was saying that it was with his terminology, or his definition was oh well, when I did God of War from God of War 1 to God of War 2, we also showed new things in God of War 2 that would get people excited, like the grappling hook, the vistas, and all this other stuff. So I pointed out all the new things that we saw in this first God of War Ragnarok trailer, and I'm like, by his definition, this game is not DLC, and so it's like, why use that term? Why use that, right? Like, that's very fanboyish terms, and it comes off as bitter.
He's trying to be provocative. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
definitely fishing for attention. He got it. I ain't gonna lie, he got it. But definitely fishing for attention and whatnot. But what's your thoughts on labeling games like oh, this just looks like DLC or whatever?
Well, I mean, it can be justified in some cases. I think that a lot of people have resorted to using that, like you say, for fanboy reasons. So, especially when you don't know much about a game because it's on the quote unquote other side, it's easy to see it on the surface and say, oh, it's just DLC. It's the same game as before. But when you're into the game, you already know all the nuances and differences. And I think that for somebody like him to say something like that, it's kind of telling where he is today versus where he was when he was active in the industry.
Exactly.
People are just addicted to being viral. It's the viral virus. Everybody catches it. They want the most attention. They want the most response. And he just was addicted to it in the moment.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%.
So I seen
Let me get. Hold on, Chris. Let me just get Kiso.
Oh, my bad.
Yo, Kiso, what's good, bro?
What's good, everybody?
Chilling, man. Talk to us, man. Give us your thoughts.
Hey, man. I mean, Jeff's a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? I respect what he did. For God of War, creating the franchise, and whatnot. But I mean, it's like you said earlier, man. He's sound like a scoring X right now. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like when older people, always talk junk about like new music. Oh, this ain't nothing but a sample. It ain't better than the OG songs. It ain't better than what came out, back when I was clubbing and whatnot. It's all it is, bro. It's all it is. It's just an old head being an old head, bro.
Hey, yo, facts, bro.
That's all it is. An old head being an old head.
Oh man.
Don't you think he just need console war for his channel to grow?
No, because this is David Jaffe, bro. This ain't some regular dude off the street that's again, doing some bullshit.
Again, what solidified it for me was the joke that he made. That one, after that, I found out what he said. I'm like, yeah, this is no longer a person that is just doing it for shock value. He's into console war now, basically.
Yeah, I mean, because I remember there was a post that said that it was about PlayStation mascots, right?
Don't repeat that. Yeah, I don't wanna.
Okay,
I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, exactly
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't, but I don't want to know.
Yeah, it's some some weirdo shit.
That's
It's about old boy that got caught. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that video. Yeah, it's that.
So I wanted to say this because there was a post. I think it was from German Strange yesterday who said, "Do you think Ragnarok will be better than 2018?" I believe it's gonna be way better than 2018, like in every way, right? I think it's gonna be a step up, right? Like what Forbidden West was for like Zero Dawn, from Zero Dawn to Forbidden West.
Yeah.
That big step up, right? But with today's reviewers, I don't think it's gonna score higher than the first game. I don't think it's gonna score. I think it's gonna score lower, just like Horizon. It's better in every way, but then they give it an 8 out of 10, and they give the first one a 10 out of 10 or something.
Chris, I agree 1,000% with Chris, bro. Look at real talk. Look at Horizon, bro. Horizon is the perfect example. I agree 1,000,000%. That is definitely. I don't think it's gonna score higher because I think God of War 2018 is what, a 92.
Yeah.
I think
it's a 94. It's a 94.
It's a 94
or above.
I would be
the second game is going to be an 89. That's what it's going to be.
It's not going to get the 90.
Yeah, it's not going to be. It's not going to get to the 90s. I don't think so. Not at all. Not at all. It's great as it is.
Even though we all know it's going to be a better game,
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
so-
I don't. Yeah, I definitely because Horizon Forbidden West is actually lower than Horizon Zero Dawn, but does everything better from story to world and all that. I mean, yeah, come on. When you look at shit like that, I'm just like, yeah, nah, this is this is definitely not getting to the 90s.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
It's not. Yeah.
Do you think for any chance whatsoever, Breath of the Wild 2 is not gonna destroy the Metacritic? Because I feel it's gonna actually destroy the first one, even to Metacritic.
Before, I would have said no. I would have said that Breath of the Wild 2 is gonna get lowered. But when I put all the things in perspective, you know, it's the longest 3D Zelda in development. Granted, COVID had played a part in that, right? And they said that when Nomura talked about that the other day after delay, he said that the game is going to expand further beyond the skies and the land of Hyrule, and they're going to introduce a bunch of new mechanics and stuff like that. So I think the game is a lot more ambitious. Even some people are even saying that the footage looks way too good to run on the Switch, right? But I think
What
the
game
game
we
is gonna
talking about? Breath of the Wild 2?
Yeah, Breath of the Wild 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the game is going to be way more ambitious, and they're going to introduce new things. And then when you look at it, right? Because so some people are calling DLCs, whatever, but it came around the same time as Horizon, right? And Horizon came out first. God of War 2018 came out after it, and then God of War Ragnarok is going to come out before it. So they've been developing this game for a long time using the same engine. It's going to reuse some of the same assets. So to me, it's like, and they know the pressure of the first game. I think they're going to add significantly amount of more context and mechanics and stuff like that. And I think they're going to knock it out the ballpark again. And plus, it's Zelda. You know, Zelda is loved by the industry as well.
Oh yeah, Zelda's a media. I mean, Nintendo's a media darling. You feel me? They can put out, you know, somebody farting on a mic for 30 minutes, and that should be a 95 Metacritic. You know. Yo, Link, what's good, bro? Talk to us. Welcome to the chat.
Up, Link.
Well, that's how you feel, Link?
Yo, what's up?
All
What's
right,
up?
all right. Chilling, man. What's your thoughts on David Jaffe calling God of War Ragnarok
David
DLC?
Jaffe is a fucking clown, and he just salty. I really believe he's salty about, you know, somebody taking the franchise he's created to another level.
Okay.
And he's also got some disdain for PlayStation. It's very obvious.
So what you're saying is Jaffe is the guy that gets mad at the girl that leveled up on the next guy she with. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, instead of just, you know, moving on and being like, you know, I created something good that went on to be even bigger than I could ever imagine, you know.
Okay.
He's just salty, you know what I mean? The stuff he says is so, I don't know, it's just so juvenile, you know what I mean? So his gaming opinions are, you know, what is a sequel supposed to be? You know, I mean, if a sequel is not supposed to in some way resemble the previous game in any way, if it's, I don't know, I guess he wanted God of War to be cell shaded, God of War Ragnarok to be cell shaded or something for it to look different, but I just don't, you know what I mean? It's very obvious what his issue is, and it's a personal issue and a personal vendetta with PlayStation and with, you know, his babies that he created going on and being, you know, something more than what he sought out for them to be. But, you know, like I said, I don't take him seriously. He's turning into a toxic fanboy. So,
well, do you still hold? So let me ask the panel this question: do you still hold, even like because of what he's done for the industry? Do you still maintain at least that level of respect for him because of what he's done for the industry?
After what he said with that joke, no.
Oh man.
If it was just the DLC shit, I would have moved forward then. But when he made that joke,
the mascot joke. You talking about the mascot joke?
Yeah, it was so apparent for me. I'm like, yeah, no, he is no longer the person that I truly respected. Because God of War is one of my favorite franchises, and Twisted Metal is a game I heavily fuck with.
Okay.
So no.
Okay. What about you, Chris?
I mean, I don't have. He hasn't done nothing to me personal, so I don't have nothing personal, right? So as a man to another man, like yeah, I still respect him as a man. I just don't respect his gaming opinions no more.
Okay.
Personally, so.
Yeah. You too? Y'all, how about you, Kiso, Jamil, Link? Y'all feel the same way?
Shit. My bad. I'm over here listening to Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? I didn't even hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm with it though. That's a good song though. I'm with it.
My bad. I think that's where my head is at with it. I don't.
What have you
cool,
done
you
for
made,
me
you
lately?
made some good games, cool, but I'm not playing those games right now, so I could care less. I'm never personally invested in none of these people, ever. I don't be knowing nobody's name. Only happen to know his because his was in the forefront for so long, but beyond that, I wouldn't know.
Hey,
I don't know who make none of these games. I don't care.
As long as the game's good. I hear you, bro. I hear you. I'm with you.
He just wants to be relevant. He wants his name to be out there. He wants attention. I mean, when he makes these idiotic statements, that's the only thing I can see, because he is irrelevant at this point. So I don't really care about his opinions. I haven't cared about him for ever, and that's just what it is.
Do you think he is a has-been?
Nah, I wouldn't call him all that. I ain't gonna like disrespect him, man, like that. I just don't. I don't agree with his gaming opinions. That's what it is at this point. It's like gaming opinions I can't take serious, which sucks because of the status that he holds within the industry. It sucks. I'm just like, damn, another one lost to the.
I didn't mean to disrespect him. It's just I feel like this. If he were to come back and start working with, let's say, Microsoft or Nintendo, do you think he would be able to create something that rival God of War?
No, because he's made numerous games after God of War, and they all pretty much flopped.
Right, and he's got a very obvious disdain for AAA games now. So I don't think he was even going to make a game, it would be.
I don't think it would be
So
AAA. I think it would be more.
I don't think he would even go for making a big budget game like that.
Yeah, he constantly shits on like AAA games and stuff like that, and so nowadays.
Yeah.
So,
all right, man. I mean, listen, y'all laid it on the table, man. I respect that, man. I respect that. Yeah, man. I'm gonna get into these outros. I'm chilling. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Any final thoughts before we get into outros? Andre said, "Well, you missed the whole show, Andre. That's what you missed."
It's just such a shame that we have come to this. It genuinely is.
It's the industry, Omar. You feel me? Like it's what's happening, man. The media is doing what they doing with the crazy shit, and now
it's the Game Pass effect, baby. The
Yo.
Game Pass effect, dog.
Dude, don't even start about this whole thing with it.
It is. Look at how
PlayStation was doing. If PlayStation was doing day and date, they wouldn't have these problems.
Yep. But we would, because we are gonna get low quality game.
If God of War Ragnarok was releasing on PlayStation Plus, right, premium day one, nobody would be saying it's a DLC.
Yep.
Oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I agree 100%. That's a fact. Yo, Jamil, man, give us your outro, bro. Shout out to you, man. Happy Friday.
Yeah, so thank you. My outro is this. Bye.
Best outro. Best outro in the game.
Bye.
Yo, Link, man, give us your outro, bro.
Yeah, man, I was just sitting back listening, to Persona, kind of laying it out and everybody's opinions and stuff like that, man. At the end of the day, whatever somebody's opinion about a game is, it's irrelevant. If you want to play the game and enjoy it.
Absolutely. Kinkiso, man, give us your outro, bro. I hope you lock down that gaming circle, brother. Gatekeep that shit, my man.
Oh, facts, man. You already know what it is, man. He had to, man.
Super fast.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it's your boy Kiso, man. Y'all know what it is. You need help with Strings of Paradise. Find me King Kiso PSN, and stop falling to that hate trap for Forspoken. I mean, y'all stop doing that.
Hey, facts, man. That Forspoken is fire. Hey, you notice, man? Got a black female lead. All of a sudden, I don't like.
Yo,
let me chill. Let me
I
chill.
don't
Let me chill.
understand.
Let me
Yeah,
chill.
I don't understand what people are seeing for Forspoken that's just making them say, "Oh, it looks trash
Black,
or it looks mediocre." Like what?
a black female lead for a AAA game. All of a sudden, oh, it's a 1 out of 10 interest. Oh, all right.
Exactly. I know what it
Convenient.
is.
Convenient.
I know what it is.
It's a 2 out of 10. Come on.
Oh man, yo, yo, shout out to Kiso, man. Always appreciate you, bro. Omar, give your outro, bro. I know you got Game Slayer happening tomorrow.
Yeah, so gameplay are happening tomorrow, and also
I might pull up.
You're more than welcome. You know that. Shout out to you. Shout out to the chat. Hit that like button, and also I also started an anime podcast. Well, mostly specifically targeting One Piece latest chapter review, which especially if you're watching One Piece and reading One Piece, then you know how crazy it is right now. That's every Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard.
That's dope, man.
So,
You know, I'll
yeah.
definitely check that out, man.
Same channel.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yo, Chris, the passion, brother. Woo. Yo, you've been one passionate dude this week, bruh. The spaces I've been hearing you in.
The past couple weeks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But,
you've been passionate, brother. Woo. Go ahead, give us your outro, man.
Yeah, nah, I do it to entertain the folks that listen. But yeah, man, just follow me on Twitter. I do spaces a lot, you know, and whatever. And Joe, I'm gonna give a shout out to Team Asano, man, because this triangle strategy is really good, bro. I'm addicted, man. I'm really digging it. I really love the strategy battle of it. But yeah, and then No More Heroes 3 got announced for PlayStation finally. So I'm excited about that.
I am very excited about that. I'm definitely picking that up. Finally, they put it on a capable console.
yeah, exactly. No. But if you look at 3 on the Switch, it's unplayable, bro. That shit is.
Well, it's on this is on PS5, so you know it's gonna be 60, and it's gonna be much better.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they're actually doing a PlayStation 5 version. It isn't just PS4, right?
Yeah,
and stuff like that. I hope that they add good DualSense features, because it'll be dope with like Travis and his lightsaber and shit like that on the DualSense, right? And you gotta shake it and shit. Yeah, but that's it, man. There's a bunch of great games out there. Everybody should be at least happy. Well,
yo, facts. There's
at least 2 of the 3 fan bases should be happy.
Yeah, the other fan base gotta wait till November. So, yeah, man. Yo, shout out to you, Chris. Shout out to Omar, Link, Kinkiso, Muck. Shout out to Muck came through today as well. Shout out to Jamil, man. Appreciate y'all all coming through. Listen, guys, man. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me today, man. I know I don't normally do shows on Fridays. You know, my Mondays is normally my thing, but you know, like I said, this week I was work really had me like mentally like just drained. So you know, it just wasn't fair to y'all to not give 100% like I normally do. You get what I mean? But we good now. You know, I appreciate y'all always. I appreciate the super chats as well from everybody. Appreciate the subscriptions and everybody that's showing support to the channel. I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. What's Up PlayStation Podcast with me and Bari. Do not miss that. That's gonna be a good show. We talking about Kojima. We talking about his trolling ass tweets, and we talking about, you know, this. We're going, you know, I definitely want to hear Bari's thoughts on this whole God of War topic, because we definitely talking about that as well. It's a lot of stuff we talking about tomorrow. It's gonna be a good show. So don't miss that. And then yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm about to chill for the night. I hope y'all have a great night. Please be safe. Enjoy the weekend. Happy Easter to those who celebrate it. And yeah, that's it, guys. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe.